the truth.
Hello everybody, my name is MrStormCrow, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I have some interesting information on the Justice Department suing Google for violating antitrust laws. I have a one-page sort of thing from the government, the United States Department of Justice, and we'll read a little bit on this to sort of get an idea of what's going on. But before we continue, if you could perhaps give a like or maybe subscribe to give some competition for the big-name YouTubers, hey, that'd be greatly appreciated. But yeah, this is very interesting. So the idea is that they want to break down Google. How? I'm not quite sure, but we'll read along with it. So there's a couple of points. I believe there is 4 in this main document. It's a very short document, which is very surprising. It's typically, these are a lot longer. But yeah, one of them is entering into exclusivity agreements that forbid pre-installation of any competing search service, which is... yeah, I mean, that is a thing, but again, you can't do that. You can do that on your Google Chrome, or yeah, funny enough, this isn't really a problem that they point out because you can do that yourself. But anyways, another one was entering into tie-in and other arrangements that force pre-installation of its search applications in prime locations on mobile devices and make them undeletable regardless of consumer preferences. So this is somewhat true. So if you don't know, a lot of devices nowadays, they come pre-installed with Google and all these other stuff, but I believe that's because there's an agreement within the service provider that they would be doing that. But if you really want to, I believe you can actually delete it if you go into the BIOS, but interesting enough, that is a very valid point there. Third one is entering into long-term agreements with Apple that require Google to be the default and de facto exclusive general search engine on Apple's popular Safari browser and other Apple search tools. So I think that this is what it's trying to say, is essentially when you get, like, you know, an iPhone, the default one is Google. It's not like another one, but this is very interesting because you can't change it. It's very easy, unless they're boomers, which is possible, considering that government's typically old people. But I mean, that is a thing you can do if you go in the settings. But anyways, one of the other points was generally using monopoly profits to buy preferential treatment for its search engine on devices, web browsers, and other search access points, creating a continuous and self-reinforced cycle of monopolization. It's a very big word there. But I don't know what this is trying to say. The fourth one is very vague. It's essentially saying that because they make money from these things, that it shouldn't be allowed? I'm very confused on this one. So it's essentially saying that it's using the profits to pretty much improve their software. Kind of. This is what I'm getting from it. Again, I could be wrong, but this is very weird. I wouldn't... I mean, aren't we in America? I would assume monopolization is okay. You know, yes, this is... I mean, this is for any company. Again, like, any company would use the profits that they get to improve their software. So I don't understand this reasoning. So I'll say this. A lot of these quotes or these reasons as to why they're trying to break Google do not make sense. There's one that I actually do like, which is entering... and essentially into your device and not allowing you deinstall or uninstall, sorry, not deinstall, but uninstall. So if you're not aware, like on my phone right now, I can't really uninstall maybe Google Maps or any other Google sort of stuff, right? That I can understand because that should be fixed, and I'm very surprised they haven't. It's really hard to do it, and I wouldn't say that the average person would know that. But yeah, it's very hard to do that. You can't really do that, and I think that that should be something that Google should do. But a lot of the reasonings under this bill doesn't really make sense. And again, this would only create a lot of problems for us, like, as well, because Google, if you don't know, YouTube is owned by Google. And if this happens, I would assume that they're going to have less powers, and this would essentially create less ad revenue for content creators, like myself, possibly in the future. So this is really weird, and I hope that there's a lot of clarification, because a lot of the stuff in here that I've read doesn't really make sense. It's a lot of vagueness. There's no exactness on this, if that makes sense, right? So this is very weird, and I just want to say that this is probably going to happen, I would assume, because Congress is controlled by one party at the moment right now, or I believe it's Congress of the, either it's one of those branches that this bill would go into, so very interesting. Yeah, they state that the reason because of Microsoft, right, that they can do this, but I don't know if that would really make sense because Microsoft was a complete different issue. That was about the operating system, which did make sense, which they should have broke down the power, but here it's very vague. A lot of these things that they point out for reasonings, you could do it yourself. So that's the thing that I find very weird. But it looks like that if this does work out to the benefit of the government right now, that a lot of the power that Google has and we will have probably in the future will probably be lowered. In fact, I would argue that YouTube might be going not out of business, but let's just say that they're going to be really screwed over to the point where some of their stuff that they have for abilities to do, like I know music is a thing, right? Maybe they might try to take that down, which I hope not. Oh my god, like imagine there's just no music on YouTube. That'd really suck. But again, a little tangent on there, but this was some information that I want to point out. Sorry if this was a little unscripted. I found this out like literally right now, and I'm very surprised that this is actually a thing that's going on. So anyways, that's going to be it for this video. If you haven't, feel free to subscribe, give a like, or perhaps share this with someone, because this is insane. I mean, because again, if this happens and there's more competition, which is great. I mean, I always love competition. This would mean that, Google Voice and all of those programs that are on your phone, now imagine 50 of them. So I don't know. That's a very interesting sort of thing that would possibly happen if this bill, well, works. So anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for checking it out. And yeah, hopefully you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.